the Baltimore Ravens post-game show here on the Flexzone Podcast YouTube channel, the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. God's favorite host, joined by Big Raj and D. O'Donis, as we break down the Ravens' 24-9 victory over those hapless New York Jets. And we take a look at all the craziness going on in Week 1, 2022 NFL season. We hand out game balls, pencil game balls for the Ravens and Jets. And we take a look ahead for the Ravens home opener next week against the Miami Dolphins here at M&T Bank Stadium. Again, hit that like button, hit that bell, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel as we get ready to go live on the Flexzone Podcast YouTube channel. Only place you want it, how you want it, when you need it. What is up, Flexzone family? Happy Football Sunday. It is back, and we are back here live on the Flexzone Podcast YouTube channel, picking up right where we left off last season with the hottest post-game show on all the YouTube airways. It's the Baltimore Ravens official post-game show here on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. Let us know your thoughts on the Ravens' 24-9 victory over the New York Jets up in the Meadowlands. I got the best threesome with me on YouTube talking Ravens post-game. You know him. You love him. You missed him. He's the king, and he's your friendly neighborhood cousin, D. O'Donis. What's up, my brother?
Robin, what's going on, man? What another wacky NFL weekend. Week 1, Ravens got it done. They had your heart medicine early, but, you know, the Jets are the Jets. They stink. And as we see the Bengals right now trying to do something in this game against the Steelers.
How can I keep up with you, bro?
Hey, man, Dive Sport Network, we are 18 subscribers away from 2K. Check that out on the Twitter at Dive Sporting Net as well. And all over social media, Dive Sporting Network.
Jerron, what's up, my brother? How you feeling? Yes, we see it. Might be some ties. We got a tie already. Appreciate you, brother, for tuning in. Big Raj, the social media producer himself. Him and Dio on location, enjoying all the NFL action. How you feeling, my brother?
Bro, I'm feeling all right, man. This Bengals and Steelers game is crazy. A lot of drama in Week 1. I figured it was going to be, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Football is back. The Ravens got their first victory of the season, and I'm loving every bit of it, bro.
Well, let's not wait for people's time. Let's get right into it. The Ravens win 24-9. As D said, a slow start for both teams, but the Ravens turned it on after the first quarter. Lamar Jackson, 3 touchdown passes. 2 to Devin Duvernay, 1 to Rashad Bateman, an unneeded interception at the end, in my opinion. But we did see the Ravens get it done, handle their business as we talked about they should, dominate the Jets, have Flacco on his back, as D would say, more than if he was in a hotel, the statue that he is. They got it done. Flacco will start in place of Zach Wilson. Jawan James, unfortunately, did go down with an injury, as did Kyle Fuller. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the Ravens defense looked fast. They were making tackles, swarming to the football. And Lamar Jackson picking up where he left off before he got hurt last season as well. D, I'm going to start with you. Initial thoughts on the game, your overall reaction and analysis on the Ravens 24-9 victory.
Well, you know, I thought the Ravens' offensive game plan was slow. You know, most of these guys either didn't play preseason, in Lamar's case, didn't play since late November. So kind of expected a slow start of preseason like Phil. But as the game went on, they was able to shed their shell. J.J. Cobbins do need to play next week. Running back situation was not good at all. Definitely needs to play next week. And with the O-line going, we need to dig up Stanley too. And a quick fun fact, Byron, Stanley's missed 27 of his last 28 games so far in the last couple of years, man. So they paid him the money. It looked like in the hindsight that could have been a mistake. I thought the defense, for the most part, played pretty good. They got to tackle better. A lot of open tackles. The Jets at one point did outgain the Ravens with a lot of yardage, but same old Jets can't get it done. They do the same old stuff. And special teams get an A. The young punter, Mr. Stout, he is excellent. Tucker's Tucker, man. So Ravens get it done. They got to get ready for a game Dolphin team next week.
Go ahead, Raj. Your thoughts on the win?
I thought it was a real good win for the Baltimore Ravens. They started off extremely slow. The running backs didn't look too good. Kenyon Drake looks a little bit slow to begin the game. But I thought as the game was going on, he found a little bit of a rhythm. Kenyon Drake actually did look pretty good in the second half. Lamar Jackson, um, he looked a little bit off today, probably because of the contract talk and all this other nonsense. He was struggling a little bit to begin the game. But he found a little bit of a rhythm as well. Found Duvernay for 2 touchdowns, found Bateman for that long touchdown. The offensive line struggled, man. They struggled in this game. Tyler Linderbaum got a wake-up call because he hasn't really played the whole preseason. He was getting pushed back to Lamar a lot, and that didn't look good at all. So hopefully he can improve during the season. I mean, it's only game 1, so he did what a rookie could only do. I thought Kyle Hamilton played well. Patrick Queen actually looked extremely good today. He had a sack, he got a lot of open tackles, which he made, which I thought was very good. I thought Chuck Clark actually played well. Marcus Williams did his thing out there as usual. He's a veteran, and he knows how to play football. The defense and overall played extremely well. Kyle Fuller injury was terrible though. It was definitely terrible. Hopefully, it's not bad. I think it is going to be bad, but hopefully for his sake that he's okay. Somebody else did get hurt with the offensive line.
Jawan
James' ankle looked terrible, and yeah, man, it was bad, man. So those 2 injuries right there. It's the National Football League, so you should expect injuries. But it is what it is. So hopefully Peters comes back next week. Hopefully Stanley is ready next week. Hopefully we see a little bit of J.K. Dobbins as well. I'm kind of glad they didn't play this game because it was raining. It was nasty out there, and it was kind of ugly. So I'm very, very happy that we won the game, although it wasn't very pretty. It was still a great victory.
Let's talk about Lamar Jackson real quick. 17 of 30, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he only ran for 17 yards. Didn't run much. But this comes after hours have been reported that he was offered a 5-year, $250 million extension from the Ravens. He pissed off in his contract situation, and it looks like it's going to go in 3 offseasons.
Yeah, man, I was hoping the Ravens would get it done. I knew after about last week, kind of figured that it wasn't going to get done. Both sides got issues, man. I know Lamar wanted it all guaranteed, but it's going to be tough to do, man. If they have it all guaranteed, they're not ready to go out and really get anybody else of significance. But at the same time, the brother got more money. Deserved more money than Watson. And the deal with Murray and Russell, I heard, was more. So I just think they got to. It's where Lamar needs an agent. They need to have an agent. They can still negotiate throughout the season. He can just focus on football. So now it's going to be kind of in limbo a little bit. So hopefully he gets it done, man. He gets to the AFC title game. The check could be in his playing field. But today, it kind of stayed the same. It went down early, then it jumped back up, then the interception kind of, even though it was a whack interception at the end, kind of evened it out. So he's still at the same place he was Friday.
Raj?
I think he deserves to be one of the highest quarterbacks in all football. I thought he did all right today. He looked accurate to me. He did miss a couple throws here and there, but it was raining outside. They haven't played the whole preseason, so I really wasn't counting it against him like that. But he did his thing when he needed to do it. He didn't really have to run nowhere, which was a good thing. And the Jets, come on, man, this is the Jets. They stink. They're supposed to get their asses kicked like that. They're supposed.
Have you checked on?
Yeah. Oh, I told him it was over after the third quarter. I told him it was a wrap. I said you might as well start paying Bob the Bears because you betted them with the Bears, which is stupid. I told him to stop running your mouth. You should never run your mouth because you're the New York Jets. And on top of that, your starting quarterback wasn't playing. You had Joe Flacco out there. And don't get me wrong, I love Joe, but Joe is a no-go. Not at this point in his career. He can't move. He's a damn statue, and it showed, man. Every time he moved, every time he was moving, you knew he wasn't going to get the ball out. You knew it wasn't going to happen. And on top of that, also the Steelers just God damn. But
Oh,
it is what it is.
I'm a little behind, but I see the kickers up. It is good. Steelers with a 23-20 win over Cincy. We'll get to that in a second. Outside, let's stick to the offense real quick. Lamar Jackson, we talked about him only having 17 yards rushing. Kenyon Drake, 11 for 31. Jackson, 6 for 17. Davis, 2 for 11. He fumbled. Justice Hill, 2 for 4. Offensive line didn't create many running lanes. Raj, the running game is going to have to get going eventually.
Yeah, man, it's got to get going, man. I mean, I didn't like what I saw in the first half, like I said before. Mike Davis had a fumble, I believe. That was awful. Kenyon Drake he couldn't find a hole to save his life, so he was a little iffy. It was bad, man. It was really bad, but he settled down in the second half, and they finally got themselves together. And you know, it also helped that the crowd wasn't there either. The New York crowd was just like, here we go again, type of thing. So that also made things very good for the Ravens. But they got to get it going on the running game side. J.K. Dobbins cannot come back fast enough. They need him. They definitely need him out there because he's definitely a guy that can change pace. He's a guy that can catch the ball out the backfield. He's a guy that's a game changer. They need a guy like that because everybody else is just, as Benny Serrato would say, everybody else is just a guy. So J.K. Dobbins is the guy. They definitely need him, and it shows, man. It definitely shows in this game. They got lucky that they played the Jets today because if they would have played like the Dolphins, they played like the Bengals or the Steelers, they might have lost. Honestly, they might have lost. So they got lucky, very lucky that they played an insignificant team like the New York Jets, and they got a W. So hopefully, like I said before, all three of those guys can come back next week. You know, and we can really start the season because I know the Dolphins is going to be an extreme test for the Baltimore Ravens.
D, your thoughts on the running game before we get to the receivers and tight ends?
You know, the running game was very average. Running backs, like Roger was saying, Drake. I'm gonna just say Drake was trying to be on so you think you can dance or something. He was not getting it done. He was shifting and moving and all. And like you gotta hit the whole court, man. North, south, man. Not east, west. It was bad. Mike Davis wasn't good, and Hill really only came in on a handful of passing plays. And me and Roger said that coming down here to David Buster's today, we kind of was like, who's gonna be the main runner? And I'm like, they might end up starting Drake, and they did, and he just didn't have it early. He did a little better in the second half, but we need Dobbins badly. Gus Bus be back hopefully by the Cincinnati game at the earliest, man. They need him because outside Lamar, man, and then Lamar's with this contract, he's trying to show that he can pass more, man. So he's not going to try to run as much as he wants to or even needs to. So running game, give the running game a C minus. No, you know what? I give it a D. Give the running game a D.
Let's look at the receivers real quick. Bateman, 2 for 59. Duvernay, 4 for 54. Bateman had a 55-yard touchdown. Duvernay, the 2 touchdowns. Andrews, 5 for 52. DeMarcus Robinson, 2 for 19. Kenyon Drake, 1 for 15. Ricard, 1 for 7. Hill, 2 for 7. D, your thoughts on the receivers and tight ends? And we saw some plays. We saw some price points.
Yeah, we did. We seen some good signing. Mr. Duvernay doing this thing. Got them 2 touchdowns. Look good. Bateman with the big catch in the second half. Andrews got involved a little bit more in the second half, but they tried to get Lightning involved. That didn't really work. Remember, Lightning had more chemistry with Hundley because he played with him in the preseason. Didn't have much with Lamar, so that's going to take some time. Little surprised Bull was inactive. I think they kind of need Bull out there to block, especially after went down on the left tackle side, man. It really showed. Hurt the passing game a little bit, but I get the passing. I get the receivers and the tight ends today. They get a B. We give them a B minus because they got it. Give them a B minus.
Go ahead, Raj.
The receivers, they looked okay. I think Devin Duvernay showed that he can actually play in this league if you give him an opportunity to play. And I enjoyed watching that. I mean, everybody was upset that Marquise Brown left. But I said, you got another guy that's fast and small and shifty if you just use him the correct way, the right way. Today, they actually used Devin Duvernay the correct way, in the right way. So hats off to them. They actually got involved. Bateman kind of struggled a little bit. I didn't. I mean, I kind of expected that because of Sauce Gardner, but once that big catch that he made, though, he made up for everything. I mean, the touchdown catch was awesome, super wide open, super fast. He catch the ball in space as usual. Can't wait to see what he does for the rest of the season. I thought the jitters off of him after the first initial, plays. I think he's going to look all right. I think he's going to be okay. The tight ends, Mark Andrews played all right as usual. He's making some of the big catches out there. Not surprising because that's what he does. Likely is going to need some time with Lamar, like Dee said, because he hasn't played with him before. And it showed a lot. So there's no chemistry there, not yet. But he will be a significant factor down the line. So they got to continue to keep feeding him the ball, continue to use him in practice, and just make sure that he's comfortable with the way Lamar's throwing the football. I don't know if he's used to those little sidearms that Lamar throws. Because only they throw them sidearms like that. So, I mean, the passing game was okay. Could it be better? Sure. But for a first game with no preseason and like barely practicing like that, I thought it was
Raj, real quick on the offensive line, we saw Jawan James go down. Lindenbaum didn't look his best. What do they need to do? Because Miami has a really good defense, even better than the Jets front, especially with creating pressure.
They need to pray. Is what they need. They need to pray because they look bad today. I didn't like how they looked, honestly. And I don't like seeing my quarterback getting sacked. I don't like seeing Lamar getting touched. Really, he was touched a lot today. Didn't like that. Stanley he got to pony up, man. I'm sorry. Enough of this baby and crap. He needs to get his ass out there. He needs to play next week. I don't care if you gotta motivate him. If you gotta throw his ass out there. If you gotta threaten his job, threaten his life, get his ass out there on the field because we need him at the left tackle position. And it showed badly because Jawan James was not going to be able to get the job done. And he's going to probably be out for the damn season since the Madden card came out for him. So we're going to definitely need Monty Stanley out there. He's going to have to find a way to get out there on the field because I am afraid of this Dolphins defense. They do look like they are the real deal. And, yeah, man, I'm just praying, honestly, because I don't want to see what happened to Lamar last year happen to him again this year. So yeah, we need to keep the quarterback upright, and Tyler Linderbaum will have to definitely figure out how to stop this man on the other side, and the rest of those guys too, especially Morgan Moses, who sometimes got beat too today.
Lamar was sacked twice, hit 5 times. Probably could have been more if Lamar didn't escape like 4 or 5 other times. D, the offensive line, looked like a panther.
Because they won, they get a D. They was not good at all, man. And Jawan James just got confirmed from John Harbaugh. He suffered a torn Achilles, so he's definitely going to be done. So Stanley, you need to get the Benny Hinn jacket, something. You need to get out here, man. They need you bad. They need you badly, and they need Ball as well to block, man. They're gonna need him to come in the block because clearly they gotta be able to do something to help out with the blocking scheme because none of the linemen look good today at all. A lot of times, like you said, Byron Lamar was able to escape some of that because a lot of times the line was getting pushed into him. 3 or 4 linemen getting nailed back into him or pushed back. And the Dolphins ain't no joke, man. You'll see their highlights today. They really came out to New England. They forced a fumble from the Patriots quarterback. Got a touchdown off of that. So they're coming, man. And if you don't believe it, You'll see the highlights later, folks. We'll talk about it in a bit. But the Dolphins are coming. It's not a game that the Ravens can take lightly next week in their home opener.
Real quick, Zadarius Smith, who should have been a Raven, just sacked Aaron Rodgers, by the way. I did just see that. Let's go to the defense. Newly acquired Marcus Williams, 10 tackles, 10 solo tackles, 12 total, interception. He played big. Chuck Clark with 9 total tackles, 4 solo. Patrick Queen with 8 tackles, 5 solo, a half sack. Matabike a half sack with 5 total tackles. And what else do we have? Justin Houston with the sack. Calais Campbell had a sack. So the Ravens defense with 3 sacks overall did a really good job, D. What stood out to you about the defense, and what do you think about Fuller's injury potentially for the defensive back?
Well, secondary's deep, and it showed throughout this game. I do feel for our man Fuller, man. He went down. First of all, he got pushed by the receiver, which the referee's called. It was offensive pass interference, and then you just see the knee buck out there. Oh, crap. That's really not good. I just think as a whole, the defense, and you guys probably said it on the main Flexzone throughout the preseason, tackling still an issue. Got to be able to tackle better. They had a lot of stops. Got to get off the field on third down. Now, we know the fourth quarter, it was a wasteful drive with the Jets. They ran a lot of clock, which the Ravens wanted. But at the same time, you got to be able to get off the field. You cannot keep being on the field. You got to be able to get off the field. If not, injuries, unfortunately, like that, what happened to our man Fuller, happens. And then even in the game, the game in the bag, we still need to get off the field so we can be able to relax. The pass rush was decent, better than we've seen in recent years, so you got to give them credit for that. And you got to keep that up next week because unlike Joe Flacco that can't move no longer, Tua can move, and he can move very freely. Y'all seen that last year in the Thursday night game that the Ravens lost, man.
Yes, one of the keys to the game was getting off the field on third down, being fundamentally sound, and tackling for the defense. Raj, your thoughts on the defense?
I thought overall they played well. Marlon Humphrey played well. We didn't really hit nothing like bad from the corners, really. Like Dee said, the tackling was kind of off on some of those plays, but it is what it is. Brandon Stevens actually played pretty well today. Sometimes he gets beat deep. Sometimes he doesn't, do what he's supposed to do. But today he actually played pretty well. Justin Matabike was definitely a standout today. I'm so glad to see him actually doing something because he's for the past couple of years, he's been praised to be a breakout player. So hopefully this is trending in the right direction for him. Patrick Queen had a solid game. Made all of his tackles, had a sack. Definitely glad to see that he is actually showing up somewhat. I'm so glad that he played well. A lot of these other guys out there, like you said, Marcus Williams, Chuck Clark, I expected those guys to play pretty well. All in all, the defense played extremely well. They did what they were supposed to do. They was in Joe's face all game long. He looked very uncomfortable. He looked like he didn't want to be there half the time. He was running for his life. He had a turnover. They did what they were supposed to do, which is pretty much hold them to less than 10 points. And that's exactly what they did. They held them to 9. So I'm very proud of the defense. Hopefully they continue to play well. Hopefully Kyle Fuller will probably be out for the season. But Pepe Williams, I'm pretty sure will step up. And I'm pretty sure Marcus Peters will be back.
Real quick, D, special teams. You said Stout looked good, booming those punts, and those suckers automatic.
Hey, special teams get an A for me, man. They look great. Stout looked magnificent. The punts was great. Covers was great. The Jets really wasn't able to do much. Tucker looked like Tucker. And the Ravens, most of the game, average field position was either at their own 35 or 40-yard line. So it wasn't like they was really getting pinned in bad field position. So special teams get a solid A. They got the job done once again.
Go ahead, Raj, real quick on special teams. Anything that stood out to you?
Just Jordan Stout. Jordan Stout is that guy. Jordan Stout is that man. Every kick that he was out there kicking, boy, that shit was flying. That joke was flying, man. It was flying in the air, bro. So he definitely was worth the 4th-round pick. So glad to have him. Everybody else, they was making solid tackles. Special teams got an A. We got a straight A for me.
Well, let's give out some game balls and not so game balls for this Ravens Jets game. We'll just focus on the Ravens side of it. D, you want a game ball, not so game ball for this game for the Ravens?
All right, game ball. It goes to Mr. Stout, man. He's a cutting machine from Penn State. Got it done. Able to do a lot. Not so game ball. Mainly offensive line. Offensive line look terrible. Get back. Offensive line coaching staff get back to the drawing board. Y'all look like that next week against Miami. It's gonna be a long afternoon at the
Right. Your game ball, not so game ball.
Game ball goes to Devin Duvernay. He came through with some super clutch catches, man. Super clutch. So he gets my game ball for the offensive side of the ball. My defensive side of the ball goes to it go to a lot of people. It go to Patrick Quinn.
Whole defense. Front step.
It go to a lot of people. But I'm gonna give it to Patrick Quinn, man, because Patrick Quinn has been getting slid up and down the whole Ravens roster. They almost brought in the dude from the Rams. What's his name? The middle linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
Oh yeah.
They almost brought in Bobby Wagner to really take his spot because they didn't think he can get the job done at all. It was extremely overpaid for him, but he gets my game ball. He had a tremendous game. Definitely was tackling great. So he gets my game ball.
Patient Chris wants to know, where was Josh Bynes? Patient Chris, appreciate you watching. Hit the like button, hit the bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. Was
Bynes, he missed the train ride, I guess, to New York because we didn't see much of him, apparently, man.
I saw more Harrington.
Yeah, Harrington, back in Big K, Houston, Queen, of course. None on Bynes, man. I don't quite know what was up with that.
We'll keep an eye on that. Before we get to the scoreboard, Ravens have their home opener next week against the Dolphins, who won today against the Patriots. What was that, 20-7, I believe? Yeah, they dominated them from the word go. D, you said it could be a long day if the Ravens don't get it together, especially in the trenches on the offensive side. This Dolphins team looks like they could be for real.
Yeah, they what we watched of them today was they was using Tyreek Hill really well, using it really well in space. Tua was moving in and out of the pocket, and that's what the greatest fear with him when you play against him usually is. But you got to be able to win the up front battle, man. And Mac Jones had a long afternoon, man. Got strip fumble for a touchdown, ran back on him. A long afternoon, and just don't want that. Can the Ravens win the game? We know they can. It'll be home, it'll be Ruckus, but the Dolphins is not an opponent you play with them. They're going to be coming next week to the bank. Try to go 2-0.
Raj, your thoughts on early look next week towards the Dolphins, the home open for the Ravens?
Like I said before, this could be a knockdown, drag out, slug out fest. I expect it to be close. Tua beat us last year with ease after being put in the game. So I expect a really good Tua, because he's been criticized a lot too during this offseason. He has the weapons. He has Waddle. He has Hill. He has Gelsky, the tight end. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a really good game. But hopefully we're able to withstand their assault on defense, and we can pull out with the win. But we shall see, man. I haven't really made my pick just yet. I'll save those for tomorrow.
Yes, if you want to super chat us, you can down below. If you want to join us, give your take on the Ravens 24-9 victory over the Jets or any other thing from week one. Let us know. We can get you in, get your thoughts, and get your opinion on anything going on in week one as we get ready to recap what happened in week one. A lot of craziness, as we mentioned when we first came on. But make sure you hit the super chats. We'll go over them at the end. And, of course, if you want to join us, let us know. Let's take a look at week one. And, fellas, jump in as you can. We'll go back to Thursday real quick because we didn't really talk about that. We thought the Bills dominated the Rams 31.
Hey man, the Bills' offense looked really good. They was able to use their running backs and wide receivers in motion a lot, and you really didn't know who was coming where. They dominated on offense, and then Von Miller just dominated the Rams on defense, man. He was a one-man show, and it's a long night for Matthew Stafford and the Bills. A lot of people got him going to the Super Bowl winning it, and after week one, they look like they legit.
Rob, any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, man, I got my pick wrong. My pick was wrong. I picked the Rams to win. They didn't get the job done. The Bills defense is nice, man. It is nice. Von Miller is still looking like the Von Miller of old. Shouldn't have doubted them like that, but it is what it is, man. The Bills look good. So like you said, I'm not going to get too carried away because it was only week one. But it is what it is.
We had earlier on, we had a tie with the Colts and Texans. What can you say, Mark? Where you at? Mark, where you at?
Mark, Matt Ryan stinks. It took him 3 quarters to really get things going. Just don't know, man. Matt Ryan looked done to me. He look on knee now. Maybe next week he'll look a little better. I don't know, but he looked bad this week. Jonathan Taylor still was able to do his thing. The Houston Texans, man, hanging in there. Even though it's a tie, I guess for Houston, it's kind of a win for them. It's a win because nobody expected them to do that. And Mark, you got to get a quarterback. And I ain't talking about somebody that's in their 30s. You got to get a quarterback. Somebody in their early 20s. They can move around. They can get it done. Because Matt Ryan ain't the answer. Carson Wentz, we'll talk about him in a little bit. He was holding on for dear life. And Flip Rivers is coaching a high school team somewhere, man. He might have been y'all best bet the last couple of years. So it ain't getting it done in Indy.
Raj, any thoughts on the Colts, man?
I watched that garbage, man. It was trash. I mean, this is come on, man. Don't get me wrong. The Texans are not a bad team. To me, they're not a bad team. Davis Mills can actually play.
They play hard.
But the Colts are supposed every year they're a Super Bowl, put together team. And they're a quarterback away from getting it done. And to be tied with the Texans, it's trash, bro. Straight trash. That's all I got to say.
Let's get to some of these other games real quick. We had let's go to Browns Panthers. Browns 26-24 win. Same old Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield ran his mouth, talked all that junk. It took him about 3 quarters to get going. He wasn't that good early in the game. Browns, you got to give credit to Hughes Hunt and Chubb dominate the game. And Carolina made the comeback. They held serve. Take the game winner. They got it done. They found the way. And the Browns 1-0. Carolina. And the offensive game by Carolina. How Chris McCaffrey was only getting a handful of carries early in the game, man. Got to get him involved. He's a weapon. Get him involved. Get more involved. But it's going to be a long year for the Panthers, man. They roll like that.
And the scary thing is Cleveland, if they just stay above water without Watson, boy, look out.
Right.
Anything, Roger, on that?
Yeah, man. It's a bad look for Baker Mayfield, man. Sometimes it's just best to shut the hell up and just play the team instead of out there running your mouth. And then you're going to sit there and you're going to deny that you said it. We know that you said it. Like, enough is enough, bro. We know that you want revenge. We know that you want to play your old team. And he went out there and he looked like a complete idiot the first 3 quarters. And then finally decided to put it together in the 4th quarter. And then came up short at the end. So you're looking doubly stupid. You did all that just to come back and still lose. So it is what it is, man. The Browns got to win today. The Panthers did it. I think the Panthers probably were the better team, but like I said before, man, this is week 1. Sometimes you don't know what to expect. In this game, I thought the Panthers was going to win, but I guess not.
Let's salute the Commanders. Cavante, where you at? They got a 28-22 win over the Jags.
Yeah. Salute to the Commanders, man. They got the victory. Carson Wentz still look like some straight garbage, though. But, I mean, hey, a win is a win. The Jaguars played pretty well. They tried, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. So salute to the Commanders.
The Commandos found a way to hold on to win. At first, he's like, same old, whatever their name is this week, same old them. They found a way. Trevor Lawrence, him and his former running back at Clemson kind of got a little rhythm going, but still got to do a little more if you're Trevor Lawrence on his end, man. It's games like that, got to be able to win on the road, and just came up a little short. Props to Washington's defense, too, man. They helped serve for the fourth quarter, man, because the third quarter they got torched, man. It was a bad third quarter. The fourth quarter they held it together. Washington shows some of their weapons look well. The rookie Dotson had 2 touchdowns, and Gibson had a good afternoon. I think Washington's offensive weapons did a little better than what people anticipated. They was able to find a way to win. They go to Detroit, I believe, next week. We'll see how they do that.
We saw the Dolphins dominate the Patriots. We kind of talked about that already, 20-7. We'll talk about the Dolphins more as the week goes on, but the Patriots don't look too good.
Now, Bob, and the Patriots got some issues there. Their running game was trying to get going. They just wasn't able to establish it once they got down. And just feel like they got some issues between their offensive and defensive lines. I know Belichick going to try to get that stuff together, man. But that division, if Buffalo and Miami rolling like that, it's going to be a long year for old Belichick.
Go ahead, Raj.
I don't got nothing to add, man. I think he's right. It's going to be a long year for New England. This might be their first actual down year. And I'm saying down a lot because they're going to be down a lot because they don't have no offensive pieces.
The Eagles beat the Lions 38-35. Detroit fought hard, but Philly's talented.
Yeah, man. I thought Detroit. I was telling D the whole time, man. I was like, they probably are going to lose, but they're going to fight their asses off, and that's exactly what they did. They fought extremely hard. It was cool to see, especially when they was down. But what was it, like almost 20 points, and they fought within to come back within 3. I mean, yeah, man, this team is not going to quit. I'm glad the Ravens don't play them again this year because last year was scary enough. But their head coach, man, they got them playing extremely hard. I just think they got the wrong quarterback. They got to get rid of Jared Goff. They got to draft somebody in the offseason. And they got to start that position over. Everything else they got wide receivers. They got a great offensive line. They got with the best pass rushers in the draft this year. And their defense is getting a little bit better. So I think they're on the right path to being a really, really good team.
Go ahead, D.
I talk about on the Eagles side, Hurts started off very slow. Both teams' game plans wasn't that good to start all this passing, especially on the Eagles. And you have these great running backs, but then they're able to get things going, get things coordinated. And once they did, their offense started rolling, man, and they really put Detroit in the hole. But to Roger's point, he said it. They don't quit on that Coach Campbell, man. They fight hard in Detroit. They held on and lost by 3. But the Eagles offense look good. Defensively, they got some issues they got to work on. Can't give up 30-some points. Because in most games you do that, you're gonna take it out.
We had the Steelers and Bengals. We talked about that coming on. Steelers get an overtime win, and Steelers just won't die, D.
Well, man, I know I haven't been on the main show in quite some time, but I've said it to folks. You can never count the Steelers out. You can never count the Steelers out. And they used defense. We knew they would. They got the pick 6. They forced Burrow into a lot of bad mistakes. He had 4 interceptions today, and they was able to hold on and win in overtime, man. And they just probably at Trubisky, don't make a mistake, and they didn't. Now, I think Najee Harris, Brian, did he get knocked out the game? Or
he got knocked out the game. I'm not sure if it was concussion or what. TJ Watt also had a pec injury, I think.
Yeah, he had a big penalty late that cost that could have cost Steelers. But do you think the Steelers are down? They're not, and the Bengals are in last place in the AFC North to start the season off, and they got some issues they got to work on. They just got to keep it simple on offense, man. Don't force stuff. Let Mixon, let the running game take control, and then mix it up with the great weapons they have. And defensively, honestly, part defensively, they ain't play all that bad. Really, defensively, the Bengals really didn't play all that bad. They just got to keep doing what they're doing on the defensive side. Give more pressure to the quarterback, though. That's the only thing I didn't see well from them. Got to get pressure at the quarterback.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I agree with D, man. Cincinnati. It looked like they had a hangover. Joe Burrow did not play well in this game at all. 4 interceptions. He looked sloppy the whole game. His weapons looked okay though. Lamar Chase still did his thing. Still got my fantasy points, so I'm all happy about that. But all in all, I mean, it just this damn Steelers, man. I mean, this is what they do. This is exactly what they do. This is what I hate so much about them. Is when they're down. You expect them to be down, but it's never over. They always seem to find a way to win, especially against the Ravens and the damn Bengals. It's like, Jesus, can somebody just get them out of here? That's how I
They're
feel.
like cockroaches, Rob. They're like cockroaches.
Sometimes you got to squash them, and you can't. You can't squash them. But good win for Pittsburgh. They got off to a fast start. Hopefully, hopefully they're going to probably have a really good season. I don't expect them to be out the mix. I expect them to fight like this every freaking game. And, it just is what it is. But the Bengals, like the D said, they got to slow it down, man. They got to get back to doing what they was doing last year. All this other foolishness where they were just throwing the ball left and right. He throwing picks here, left, right, all over the place. Can't be doing that, man. You can expect to actually get a victory. Can't be doing that at all. So they got to get it together. Give Joe Mixon the ball a lot more, and stop, with all this fancy, crap of throwing the football. You don't got to have over 300 to 400 yards to win the game. Just keep it simple.
Shout out to Bailey Got Beats. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that notification if you haven't already, brother. Appreciate you watching. Yes, the Ravens got it done. Let's go to we had the stop of the day. Bears beat the 49ers 19-10.
A sloppy game in Soldier Field. The weather represented the 49ers play today because it was terrible. I don't get why the 49ers were trying to force the ball down the field so much in sloppy weather. With a rookie, with a second-year quarterback starting for the first time, the 49ers always known for being physical. This great team that can be able to bully folks, but they went to Chicago and pretty much got beaten, and they pretty much gave Fields life because Fields did not have a good afternoon until about late in the game, and they was able to just do enough to win. Chicago grinded it out and got it done, man. And that was a bad loss for me on the 49ers. The weather was sucky. Got to tell your game plan. And maybe Shanahan didn't, and it cost him the game.
And I'm very disappointed, man. I'm extremely disappointed. I thought San Francisco was going to get the win. But goddamn, bro. Why would you leave your quarterback out there to look like that, man? I mean, run the football, man. Run the football. Trey Lance looks like straight garbage today. Looked terrible. Justin Fields actually looked good. I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn, he's getting hit left and right, but he's still finding a way to make plays. While Trey Lance is just like, oh well. I mean, are we going to get this the whole season? I hope not, because I don't want to see Jimmy Garoppolo take your job, man. I don't want to see that. But this is why they kept Jimmy. This is one of the reasons why, because they want to see how far they can string along Trey Lance and see if he's going to completely mess it up. This is strike one against him. Now this ain't totally his fault because, like Dee said, the weather did completely suck. But still, all in all, you're not supposed to lose against the damn Chicago Bears, who don't have any offensive weapons at all besides David Montgomery. That's it. They don't really have anybody. You're not supposed to lose. So I mean, it is what it is, man. it looked terrible. The game I watched was terrible. But they got to get it together. They got to get it together. Because Trey Lance can't be doing this. He can't be out there looking, hot 1 minute and then looking like straight garbage the next. He has to figure out, how to operate the offense, especially in bad weather.
And we had the Saints pull out a close one. I thought this game would be close, 27-26 over the Falcons. NFC South rivalry game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Jameis and them pulled it out. I didn't have that much faith at the beginning. I thought that the Falcons were going to win. But, yeah, man, I'm happy for the Saints. I'm happy for Jameis. They did what they're supposed to do. They found a way to win the game. That's all you expect. That's all you really want. Is you want to just go out there and win tough games like that. And it also shows me that Atlanta's not going to be a pushover either. They're actually going to be a really tough team to play, and that kind of sucks for whoever else got to play them because we got to play them. So I mean, yeah, man, it definitely was a slugfest, and Atlanta showed that they're not going to just lay down. Like the Jets did, and lose. So, hats off to the Saints for getting that victory from behind, and keep on pushing.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, Atlanta, Mariota looked good, man. He looked real mobile. At first, I was like, who the Atlanta quarterback is? I said it was Mariota. And I was like, okay, let's see what he can do. And he did well today. But I know the Saints are so happy Michael Thomas is back. I know they probably was jumping for joy, man. He saved the day for them today. Not, they was looking to. How about good old Mark Ingram fumbling the ball, giving it back to Atlanta? Points in that game, man. And Saints survived a rivalry game, a divisional game. Atlanta showed that they're going to be definitely in the wild card race this season, man. They're not going to be a pushover. A very good game. The Saints showed some toughness to their credit, man, because they could have laid down and said when they was down 26-10 as a wrap. They showed a lot of heart and came back into football.
Yeah, definitely. Falcons definitely played hard, and I think we are now in the afternoon block. Let's see here. We currently have the Chargers up 10-3 over the Raiders. We have the Chiefs dominating the Cardinals 20-7, Vikings 7-0 over the Packers. And looks like the Vikings are about to score again. Justin Jefferson with a big play. Titans 13-0 over the Giants. Anything from the afternoon? You like that, Rajma? You like Justin Jefferson, man?
Hey, I got Justin. I got him on my fantasy, man. I got him on my fantasy. Hey, I know I can't change my pick, but it looks like the Vikings might be actually winning this game at the end. So it is what it is. I did pick Green Bay to win. I mean, I could be wrong. But, I mean, we'll see. But so far, so good. Right now, the Vikings are doing what they're supposed to do. They're looking pretty good out there. Kansas City is doing what they're supposed to do. They're actually winning as well. And the Chargers are up 10-3 over the Raiders. And right now, they're doing what they're supposed to do. So it's a pretty good afternoon of football. Not as much heart medicine needed as it was for the 1 o'clock game.
Go ahead, D.
I think the Chiefs Cooker's out, man. I think he got hurt, but I think he's questionable to come back. So, but right now it don't matter. The Chiefs are just rolling on offense at the moment. Arizona's really not able to stop the tribal chief at the moment. Green Bay offensively, Aaron Rodgers is my homie, man, but they look kind of slow. They was able to get up to the red zone, but they wasn't able to punch it in the end zone. And Minnesota's offense just looks a little quicker than Green Bay's. I'll be shocked with the Titans and Giants. I mean, outside of Saquon Barkley, the Giants has nothing. And Chargers and Raiders going back and forth. Chargers, this got to be the year, right? They got all the talent. Everybody talk about them. It got to be the year they do something.
Not now, dude. Like I said last week, not now, ever. Not now, ever.
Yeah, I agree. So for late games, it's not as much heart medicine or cardiac arrest as the early games was, whether you was watching or who your team is.
Well, fellas, Ravens get the win 24-9. Happy to have you guys here. We'll be here tomorrow, episode 357. The Flexzone Podcast. Raj, Devontae, no courtesy right now. So,
He's in Las Vegas. You know, living it up.
We'll be running 3-man week. And we'll get Devontae started with Commanders and we'll do our week picks. Talk about the Monday night game. Talk about the game for today. Game ball, not some game ball as well. More Ravens coverage if anything else breaks. D, how can they follow you again, my brother?
My bad on myself on the Disport Network. On the Twitter at Disport.net, Instagram, Facebook, and the money sign Cash App Disport Network. Let's check it out.
Big Rod, tell the people if they're watching us on YouTube.
Hey man, if you're new to this channel, it's the Flexzone Podcast on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, hit the like button, check us out. We got plenty of content, plenty more to come. Hopefully, this is the first installment of a lot more post-game shows. Hopefully, we can get some more people rolling in so we can get their thoughts as well. It's only week one, so we understand that there's a lot of things going on. So next week, hopefully, after the Dolphins game, we'll have some more people joining us. We can definitely get their thoughts as well. But it was a good week one, man. It was definitely a good week one. Hopefully, Q will show up on the show tomorrow at some point. Because goddamn it, he's going to get his ass slid. All right, he's getting his butt slid tomorrow. He's not going to run like he did the last time. And yeah, man, he owes a lot of people right now. He's being goofy with the bets. So, like I said before, check us out, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We're going to have a lot more heat coming your way.
Yes, the August and Raj. Make sure you follow us on the Flexzone Podcast. Hit the like button, Cash App, Flexzone1. Flexzone1 on Twitter and Instagram. Flexzone1 at gmail.com. And the Flexzone Podcast on TikTok. Favorite home signing our Ravens with a 24-9 victory over the Jets. Coming up this Sunday in Thanksgiving. The Dolphins will be here all week to talk about it. Live streams, previews, and breakdowns. And anything else, we out of here, y'all. Peace.